Good morning, saints of God. It is day 6 of our 40-day Lenten devotion. Here it is on Tuesday, and we have been focused this week specifically on what it means to have faith in God. I want to read for us a familiar passage of scripture, something that I'm sure that you've heard before, but place a new lens or a deeper dive into its real meaning and context, specifically for our lives on today. So if you have your swords, we're looking at Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, just the 5th and 6th verse. Most of you have probably heard it, or it may sound familiar. The 5th verse says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight." Have you ever been in a situation where you were looking for guidance, but ultimately found yourself attempting to lean back onto something you thought was familiar? Okay, let me give you an example. Oftentimes I drive with my GPS, and while watching and following the GPS, I'll get to a certain area and say, this looks familiar. I'm pretty confident in myself to strike out on my own and disregard what the GPS is saying, because what the GPS is saying is conflicting with my inclination, if you will, of where I should go. Then when I mess around, find myself lost, I realize I should have just listened to the GPS. Now, before you judge me, this is kind of what we do oftentimes in life. We recognize that there are places where God has the answer. We know that God has the direction. We know that God has the wisdom to understand where we're going. However, we begin in our infancy to try and lean back onto our own instincts. I'll say that doesn't look right, and God couldn't be asking me to do that, and I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to make a left here. Now, here's the thing: the GPS is technically the expert. And oftentimes, because it's us, we feel like we're the expert. And so we override that which we know will get us to our destination because it doesn't look like the way that we would take. Now, here's the problem with all of that. The problem is you turned the GPS on for a reason, because you didn't know where you were going. But then when it came down to trusting the GPS, you decided it was more important to lean back onto your own understanding. God says in these times you have to realize that my ways are not like your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. And there will be areas where you literally can't trace God's hand. But you have to be faithful enough to say, even in unfamiliar territory, as opposed to me trying to figure out, let me trust that God has already worked it out. Because the other thing that the GPS is able to do, it's able to see ahead of you and to see obstacles that may possibly present themselves in your path. Things you couldn't see, things you can't know. God is just like that. He says, listen, I need you to trust me when it don't make sense. I need you to trust me when it hurts. I need you to trust me when it's uncomfortable. I need you to trust me when you think you know better. Because ultimately, first of all, I will always get you to your destination, even when it's strange. So in these strange times that we live in these strange areas, in these strange contexts, and in these even sometimes alarming and fearful times, we got to learn how to trust in God, solely in him, with all of our heart. And the guarantee is that he will direct our path. Have an incredible day. I want you to stay prayed up. I also want you to be encouraged on today, because we serve a God who's never failed. And inside of that, his perfect will be made upon your submission to him. God bless you. Have an incredible day. See you guys on tomorrow. Bless you.